One of the things that I get to do as part of my job is I get to travel around to these cities and attend Best Place to Work events. So these are events that are hosted and promoted by our partners, which are usually newspapers or publications. And this is where they celebrate and make a big deal out of the folks that win in these programs. And so I was really excited, and I started attending a few of these. And then after I'd gone to a handful of them, something strange happened and something unexpected happened, and that was that I started getting irritated. And the reason I was irritated is because I knew how we were measuring and awarding these best places designations. I knew how they ended up at the top of the list. It was about workplace engagement and great culture and leadership and those sorts of things. But you know what they talked about when I went to those events? When they announced the companies and the companies got up and talked about themselves, or they did stories about the companies, what did they talk about? What would you guess? Perks. That's exactly what they talked about. And I'm like, what is going on? Perks are interesting. You'd hear about things like bring your dog to work and pet insurance and massage Thursdays and big crazy bonus programs and benefits programs. And, you know, God help me if I hear about sleep pods at Google, right? Sleep pods, are you kidding me? The only one that didn't bother me is that a lot of companies talked about beer carts and happy hours and that sort of thing, because I can get behind that kind of effort. I actually thought at one point I was onto something, because I heard that so often that I'm like, there might be a linkage between beer at work and employee engagement. That's something I can dig into. That's something I can do some research on. And so here's the thing, though, about this. What concerned me was that if you were researching how to become a best place to work and you attended these events as a way of sort of trying to figure out what to do, you would walk away saying, boy, we need to invest a bunch of money in perks and benefits. When in actuality, what we know to be true, every year we do an analysis of the entirety of the employee data that we collect, hundreds of thousands of employee survey responses from thousands of companies across the country. And we do an analysis to see what items, what specific elements and factors are most strongly correlated to overall engagement. Our items about benefits and perks are every year dead last. Doesn't mean they're not important. I don't want you to go back and slash your budget, because that would be a bad idea. Benefits and perks are satisfiers. They're table stakes, they're important. But if you're trying to win the race for engagement, you're trying to build a best place to work that your employees will recognize as a best place to work, it's not about benefits. So what is it about is the natural question, right? That's what we're here to talk about. And that's what I'm really interested in the core of our work. So we're going to break down in the next 15 minutes or so is really what I'm going to call the anatomy of the best place to work. And we're going to talk about three things, sort of three parts that we see consistently amongst the best of the best. Regardless of industry, regardless of size, regardless of geographic location, you will find these outcomes, characteristics, efforts in every organization. For some of you, this will be a reinforcement of the work you're already doing. For some of you, this may be an indicator as to where to dig in or where to double down. And those three things are clarity, connection, and love.